Good morning. So lovely to see you all here today. Welcome to any out-of-town guests and visitors who are attending with family members this morning after a lovely Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you all had a good week and a good day, and are having a good day. And I just want to say a huge welcome to everybody who's joining us. Good morning and welcome. And as I like to say, you're exactly where you need to be. There. How's that work? I'm getting over a cold, so my brain's a little foggy still. Everything else is fine. Just my brain, you all know that feeling, so it's okay. It is such a joy to welcome you here this morning and remind you to do this. Double check and make sure your phone is set to silent so that we are not interrupted by that. It's also my great pleasure this morning to say thank you and welcome to everybody who helps put these services on. You see it every week with Reverend Matthew and me and our PAs up here, but there is a giant team of people behind the scenes who help us put these things together. First of all of our PAs, pastoral associates who help us put the service together. This morning is largely the work of Summer Addy, and we are very, very grateful for her and all the work she's done to put it together. We are, as always, incredibly grateful for our AV team in the back. They help us make all work, and they also help broadcast us out through on Zoom, and then subsequently it gets posted on YouTube, so people get a chance to watch us. Also, anybody watching at home, either now or in the future, let's do our wave. Let's see how quickly we can do. Get the camera in position, Chuck, and go! Thank you so much, Chuck. I know I'm being silly. We are grateful for everybody who's watching us either at home or on YouTube later. No matter where you are or when you are, we're glad you're with us, and thank you. Anything else? Oh, yes, I wanted to say, it doesn't mean much to us liturgically because we're not a liturgical church. We don't follow electionary. We don't follow even much in the way of sacred texts, as after all, sacred is where you find it. But this is, in some traditions, the first Sunday of Advent. I always loved, in all my time working for various churches and groups, that I love the first Sunday of Advent because one of the great hymns is the old Latin hymn, Veni Emmanuel, or it's often rendered in English, O come, Emmanuel. Now, I love this hymn. The text speaks of hope and the coming of hope and the coming of good things. Whether or not you believe in the literal whole, all the baggage that comes with all of that, I love the imagery of hope appearing. I also really, really love the tune. It's one of the beautiful tunes in all of hymnody. So we're going to have a chance to sing it a little bit later, but I'd like to play it for you here by way of prelude.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samar Adi, one of the PAs hosting today. We're going to have a very full service today, so I'm looking forward to it. When I was a kid, I used to think when my parents would have me do laundry or clean up that I was doing them a favor and that they couldn't do it themselves. So it's really interesting being on this side of the equation and having my kids do their own chores and hearing the pushback. My parents definitely had that mindset, that family cultural mindset of you don't wait to be asked. You see what needs to get done and you do it. Now, I'll admit there are pros and cons to this, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And I didn't realize it at the time that my parents weren't just teaching how to do chores. They were teaching that our home was ours to take care of together, and that we all had a part in it. And that ownership in it helped create a sense of being part of something bigger. And so there's a spiritual truth there, that responsibility builds belonging. And while this is a lesson learned in childhood, it's been reinforced many a time with other experiences. When I first started attending MVUU back in 2008, it was really difficult for me to meet new people. My work week usually meant that I couldn't attend things during the week that I would have liked to. And frankly, I was a little anxious at the time at also putting myself out there and meeting people. And so while we do have opportunities to meet up for service, for coffee, it's sometimes challenging to get beyond the surface level and really get to know people when there isn't that ongoing contact where you start to pick up on those details, intimate details of people's lives and learn about them. And so I started volunteering for different things. I got to know a few of you through stewardship one-on-ones, river cleanups, finding hearts, and committee work. And that shared labor created connection and also a sense of belonging in this congregation. As UUs, we belong to a community that centers love and teaches that love is not just a feeling, but a value and a discipline. Love is active. It is embodied in the ways we show up for ourselves, for others, for our communities, and our world. It means showing up when there are hard times, with compassion, with shared responsibility, and with shared responsibility to maintaining those covenantal relationships. And it sometimes means balancing competing needs. It means showing up imperfectly, Those of you who've worked with me know that I'm pretty open when I drop the ball, and unfortunately it happens way often than I'd like it to, and I still show up. And so today I'm up here as part of the nominating committee, not just PA, but also nominating committee. So here knows, show of hands, who here knows what nominating committee does? Awesome. Who here doesn't? Raise your hands. Okay. So nominating committee is the committee that puts together the slate of nominees to vote on the annual meeting, at the annual meeting. And so this includes open positions on the Board of Trustees, Endowment Committee, and the Nominating Committee. And so, but we've also, more importantly, I think, that's important, and also, we've been exploring leadership development and learning about what the talents people have that they can also bring in. And so one of the ways we've done that is holding leadership development meetings where we invite you to reflect and explore on your interests. And so we've been moving away from not just filling seats. We want to see where you want to fit in and how we can help you get there. So redefining leadership from this like top-down model to bottom-up. And so leadership doesn't necessarily mean serving on a board. It means stepping in and taking care of a need the way so many of you already actually do. It's expanding about how we can put love into action in this community and cultivating a culture of shared purpose and responsibility. So in today's service, very full service, you'll also be hearing from both Ann Bowling and Tom Sawyer, who are also current NomCom nominating committee members, as we explore how our UU values intersect with leadership. So welcome again. It's good to see everyone. Our chalice lighting today as we gather in a sacred space. We gather this morning in a sacred space, kindling a fire that burns here in our chalice and in our hearts. We gather to engage in a different kind of worship, one that doesn't include sermons but is holy nonetheless. We gather to honor our covenant and engage in congregational life, doing the necessary work to ensure that this community thrives. We gather together as a people of faith guided by love, a love that burns as bright as the flame in our chalice. We light this chalice as we have done so many times before, for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. Blessed be. So after service, as we walk through those doors, and please feel free to go through and join us in our hospitality hour, there are 2 bowls out there on a table. And yes, they are out there today. And so we've got a wooden bowl for the works of this congregation, MVUU, and a woven basket for our partnership of the month, which is still Flowing Wells and, oh my gosh, go Hawks and go Longhorns, but unfortunately, Hendricks. So the 2 elementary schools that are both in our local community that we do a lot of work for. So not only do we collect for them as a partner of the month, but a lot of you also volunteer there with cleanups, with collecting backpacks. And so highly encourage, if you have anything that you would like to donate to them, that the woven basket is through those doors. Thank you.
Oh, come on. One more time. Go Hawks. Go Longhorns. There we go. Great. Our first song this morning is a familiar tune. I love this tune, Kremser, it's called. It's called Kremser because a fellow named Edward Kremser swiped it from an earlier book, which I also love, the Nederlandisch Gedankklank. It's fun to say, if nothing else, from 1626. Words from the last century, and you know this tune. Let's stand and sing, We Gather Together. It's 3:49 if you grabbed a hymnal, and of course the words will always be on the screen.
So Well, we are here representing OWL, and we are both facilitators for Adult OWL. And there are other facilitators in the congregation that teach, kindergarten and other age-appropriate programs, junior high, high school, etc. So, Steve is my co-leader in our classes, so I'll turn it over to him.
This is the 5th Sunday in this month that we have discussed sex in church. As a Methodist youth, I never expected to do that. We teach OWL because sex is part of our life through our whole life, and that includes adulthood and older adulthood. And I can't imagine why we'd need anything about older adults. I look around, this group is so youthful. But there is that curriculum, and Pat and I are facilitators for it. It's important because in age, our sexuality changes. With time, our culture changes. And so there are all things there that we need to know and understand and maybe refresh ourselves on or learn anew. We promised that, let me back up a step. The curriculum for this was developed by the UUA in conjunction with the United Church of Christ. And all of the fact-based material is shared in common between the two of them. But we differ when it comes to spirituality. So each church wrote its own manual on spirituality. This was called Sex and Our Faith. And this is incorporated in the lessons that we teach as we go along. But we promised that we would do one of the activities that we do in every session, and one that we do for every age is called the question box. So a card is given to every person in the class, and you can write a question on it, drop it in the question box anonymously, and then it'll be answered in class and discussed in class. So we're going to role play this for you. And the first question I'm going to ask Pat is, what's the difference between romance and sex?
Well, romance is an attraction to another person, a strong attraction. And it also involves excitement and mystery and learning about this person you want to really get involved with. And as you may go on in the relationship, you may start to desire intimacy and physical connection.
Okay, and you are going to ask me.
Is there sex after 60?
And I'm going to dodge that question by saying, come take the class if you want to have the answer.
Does the little blue pill prevent STDs, which is sexually transmitted diseases? I'm nervous.
And now this is a factual question which a facilitator will answer. So I would say no, the little blue pill, which is Viagra, and its companion pills like Cialis are intended to compensate for erectile dysfunction, and they do not protect against STDs. And if you're having sex with multiple partners, you need to still have protection. Now, a question for you.
Good.
What is kink, and is it dangerous?
Yes, well, that was put in the question box, and I happened to see it also in the New York Times, so it's not, but anyway. Kink is unconventional intimacy. It's not traditional sex in that, but it is safe, and there's usually a safe word. So some people might enjoy being in bondage, and other people might want to suck their partner's toes. But whatever, kink is safe, and so you always have a safe word that stops when you are feeling uncomfortable. So that's kink.
Okay.
Okay. What gender roles are you aware of, and where and when did you first become aware of those gender roles?
Now, this is a question that'll bring up a lot of discussion in class, but basically, your gender roles start in childhood when, in my case, since it's the first person here, I was given boy toys and given boy clothes to wear, and my sister was given girl clothes and girl toys to play with. But she was something of a tomboy, so she continued to wear pants and climb trees. And, you know, these shifted as we went along. But this discussion about gender roles is part of a larger picture, which includes everything from sex at birth to gender roles to sexual preference. And this is a changing field today, a dynamic field. So if you're confused about how to use they, them, another reason to come take our class.
Well, that's fun to follow. When I was a trustee on the board here a few years ago, we worked on the mission for this congregation. And the words are still up on the website. It's building an open-hearted, welcoming community where we work together in covenant to transform ourselves and our world through love. Love is a powerful word. It means so much more than the 4 letters can convey. Nearly as important as the concept of love are the ideals of democracy, participation in family, community, social justice, and other organizations. I am aware of how much my parents, grandparents, neighbors, and teachers cared about these values. These same people lived their values as they reached out in our community to church friends, co-workers, and people they never ever met. They volunteered at church, school, and scouts, donated to fund drives, participated in outreach efforts, and were always engaged politically. In my childhood home, relatives and strangers were invited to stay as they struggled with issues of life. My family expanded and reshaped with each sharing of our shelter and resources. My husband and I attempted to teach our children by following these examples of love in action. The effort and the effect of each volunteer position I've held growing up and as an adult has been personal growth and learning as well as accomplishment. Some years, election results didn't really make me happy, but I never ever saw voting as something I could skip or take lightly. When I began attending a Unitarian Universalist church at a stressful time in my life, it was a refuge that brought me back to my core self. I was welcomed and loved by that congregation. By participating in church activities and volunteering for both simple tasks and leadership roles, I relearned the importance of focusing on giving and receiving love. Love as our united congregational practice can be transformative and meaningful for each of us, and for who knows how many other individuals, families, classrooms, and neighborhoods. For me, MVUU's mission is about democracy, taking action, doing, not just aspiring. It's about making change happen, not just hoping and praying for it. As MVU continues to grow, it's time for all the action from love, through love, with love, and democracy that we may have to offer. Please consider your part in our shared commitment to the well-being of MVUU, its congregants and friends, and the world beyond our walls. Share your talents, insights, and gifts. Thank you.
Come on up, choir. It's that time. I'm sorry, my brain won't let go of it. Is there sex after 60? Well, I'm 59. I'll let you know in a couple of months. We have prepared for you this morning an absolutely gorgeous tune. In a lot of musicals, one of the great form of the American musical is usually there's an I want or an I wish song at the beginning that sets up the action. Usually the hero is at the very beginning of his or her journey and it leads to a moment. Then there's a moment in the middle where they're about to embark on their big journey. And there's the anthem where the wise god or goddess figure or whatever steps forward and says, "You're okay, you'll be all right." This is the energizing anthem from a show called Once on This Island. It's a loose reconfiguration of the Little Mermaid story, but in this case, Timoon is about to go to the other side of her island in pursuit of the man she loves. And on the way, Erzuli, the goddess of love, stops her, steps up, and of course the orchestra and choir appear with her as well too, and say, "It's all right. You will be okay. You may be nervous, you may be scared, but never forget, you are a part of the human heart. No matter where you go, you carry this spark of humanity and this chunk of the universal human heart. So no matter where you go, what you do, what happens, maintain the courage with you." This is called The Human Heart from the musical Once on This Island, Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty. They're known for shows like Ragtime and Seussical the Musical. And our lovely choir. Aren't they beautiful?
You can love people without leading them, but you can't lead people without loving them. Would you agree? If the word love scares you, as it does some people, then use passion, commitment, servant leadership, purpose-driven, mission-driven. Any of these choices are words or phrases that are the core of love. Love is simply an unselfish and genuine concern for others. So what sustains a leader? The people who do the work. Leaders are in love with the people who actually do the work. And there are so many great examples of that here. It's one of the reasons that I chose to be a leader, and others I think are choosing to be a leader. There are so many of you out there that have done incredible work in leadership here. I'm going to mention a couple just because I think they need to get mentioned. Warren, where are you, Warren? There's a man who knows what service is. This building is his baby. What makes this building work is him and his team, Vince and others that have helped. People like Jane, who's always there. People like the Seifrieds. There are many of you. I know I'm leaving out lots of people, and forgive me for that. But there are so many of you that are examples of the servant leadership that make this church work. So when we hear the word love in the form of leadership, some people consider that in the culture at large to be a personal matter. Love is a personal matter. Well, I believe that you cannot lead without love, because you have to have a team of people and you have to love those people. You have to have a real commitment to lead, and that has to be based in the strength of love to lead. I dare say that anybody who's held a strong leadership position in any organization must have the sustenance of love in their heart to make it successful. Successful leadership must embody love. When you lead with love, you find that leadership is not always easy, is it? Love is not always free of conflict. Indeed, I often think of leadership in an organization somewhat like raising a teenager. Does that mean when you're raising a teenager that you refuse to parent them? No. It means that you lead as a parent to teach, to help them deal with conflict, to help them grow. And in so many ways, I think leadership in an organization like this is like that. There will be conflict. There will be moments of frustration. There will be moments of simply trying to share values and develop a culture where love is the guiding principle for all who belong here. Those of us in the Nominating Committee have given a lot of thought to leadership development over the last year or two. We believe that, as I think Summer put it, I believe it was Summer that put it earlier, that we're not here just to fill positions, but we want to create a culture of loving leadership here. In a way, all of you are leaders, all of you. We lead progressive spiritual religion in this country. It is up to us to be the spearhead of changing this culture, of making this world, transforming this world to be a more loving place. Well-qualified, experienced leaders are everywhere in this congregation. It's one of the reasons I'm here. I so appreciate the many leadership experiences that you've had, whether it be in a classroom, your work life, wherever it has been. Many of you have talents galore when it comes to leadership. So often, though, when we approach people, we hear that you don't have time, or you lack skills or confidence, or there's too much conflict. There's fear and blame sometimes when things go wrong. And you don't want to be exposed to that. I want to say to you all that we are working very hard to change that mentality here. We want, as a nominating committee, to have a culture where you value leadership and your ability to lead so highly that you want to share it with everybody here. That's my wish. We want to create so much support for leadership here that you look forward to leading, because it will broaden your horizons. It will teach you new things about yourself, and you can feel the tremendous reward that comes from leading successfully. I had that experience as your president several terms ago, and how much struggle there was, and where we came out, and feeling the great reward that we accomplished a lot. And that's a wonderful feeling to get. And you cannot get that just simply being a consumer here. If you want to belong here, then it's important to share your talents. It's important to share your leadership skills and abilities. So I'm hoping that as we continue to work on building a culture of leadership here, that we can create a loving leadership culture where all share the love of leading, and that we love our leaders. One of the things that I've noticed here is that many times as leaders, what happens is you hear all the complaints, right? There's no toilet in there's no toilet paper in the bathroom today. The air conditioning isn't working right. Somebody forgot this. You hear that a lot. You become the repository, in a way, of everything that flows. And I'm hoping that you all will recognize your leaders and love them more, because it is a wonderful way to thank them for the dedication that they bring. So again, I want to ask all of you to think about leadership in you and how you bring that here, so that we may create a culture of leadership here at MVUU, loving leadership. Thank you.
I told you earlier, I love this song because it looks forward. I love the holidays that come, and virtually every tradition has one. The big holiday of the year that has a moment, sometimes a week, sometimes a month in different traditions. Just like in the Jewish High Holy Days, there is the entire Hebrew month of Elul, in which you take time, you spend time reading, you spend time meditating, you spend time in contemplation, making sure that you're ready for the big holiday to come. And just like this from Christian tradition, as this being the first Sunday of Advent, this is the customary hymn. I love the way it looks forward to and gives us hope. So would you stand and sing with us? This is the first two verses of O Come, Emmanuel. It's 225 in our book. You'll also notice, for those of you that are familiar, the words are a bit different.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Michelle Vitastini, and I am a member of the Pastoral Care Committee. It's nice to see so many of the seats filled with either the snowbirds or the rainbirds coming back, and guests and visitors who are here, so welcome. There aren't too many empty chairs here, but as we're entering the winter holidays, many of us are experiencing empty chairs at home, at the holidays, during the time when families are getting together. It's that much more aware and poignant that certain people are no longer here with us. Nobody talks about how grief hits harder in November and December. The lights shine a little dimmer. the laughter feels a little quieter, and the empty chair at the table seems louder now than ever. Nothing prepares you for how the holidays makes you miss people who aren't here anymore. So with that in mind, I have a few tips to share with you that may be able to help you with your grief and with your sadness during these holiday times. And create a new tradition in the memory of your loved one. You might want to come up with some special thing to do. Remember, not everyone grieves the way that you are grieving. It's really important when you're with friends and family who are also experiencing the same loss to recognize that everybody does it differently and in a different time. Light a candle in your home in memory of the person you've lost. This is a Jewish tradition as well that happens with Yortzeit candles, where the candle gets lit to remind of the life that is no longer here on earth. Prepare a special place to write down memories. When people are coming over, you might want to put out pen and paper where people can just not note a memory that they had, and you can read them aloud later if you choose. Be honest. Tell people what you do want and what you don't want. Expectations of you should be defined by you, and don't be shy about letting people know. Don't feel guilty about your holiday-related decisions. If you choose to not go someplace or you choose to not partake because it's just too painful or you're not feeling up to it, that's perfectly fine. Donate to a cause in your loved one's name, a charity that you think they would have supported. Give some special items that belong to your loved one and take them and give them to someone in your family or friends who you think might cherish them. Skip holiday events if you're in holiday overload. And that doesn't go just if you're grieving, that just goes in general, because we can all get swept up in the frenzy and really not be enjoying it. Don't get trapped. If possible, arrange your own transportation to events in case it gets too much and you just want to escape.
Alleluia. And we sing one more time. We sing verses 3 and 4 of this beautiful and quite ancient sacred text, newly translated in our UU hymnal number 225, O come, Emmanuel. Rise and sing with us. to Julie for filling in for Joel, who's away today. J words.
Our reading today is A Faith of Holy Cartographers.
In order to travel the great way together, we have to cultivate a sense of belonging that isn't conditional upon conformity. I don't want a smoothed out, disproportionately aggrandized faith that attempts to draw all comers to its one self-righteous place at the top of the map of humanity, leaving the messiness of their upbringings and lived realities behind them.
Instead, I want an imaginative and wandering faith of holy cartographers, eager encounterers who pay exquisite attention to the terrain and the systemic forces that shape it.
Leaders who meet people where they are, approach them with curiosity, hold lightly to their own individual stories, and are willing to be surprised and delighted and moved by what they discover in the treasure trove of another.
This cannot happen without assimilation. It has to be with assimilation. It has to be transformation. We all have to be aiming for transformation and to be willing to be guided not by positions and placeholders, but by principles held in covenant, and to which anyone of loving intention can guide us back. The old top-heavy map simply cannot get us there.
Could we teach one another how to do this? Could we make the foundation of our faith development learning how to inhabit an open and curious presence by rooting firmly in our own mutual belovedness as it is so beautifully articulated in the universalist half of our heritage?
I want us to heal one another through our fiercely compassionate presence so that we can chart a different path as a matter of lived theology, so that we can caringly release the old one-directional paths that aren't broad enough for all of us to accompany one another. I think this degree of spiritual security and resiliency could be what gets us there, what frees our souls to encounter the sacred terrain of one another's experiences. What we discover and share could be our new map, more complete and truer than the one that we're handed and the one that we didn't know that we could leave behind. This could be how we grow our new way together.
We've got two announcements today, and they're both related to the fact that today is the deadline, so stop procrastinating. Choya Chow signups, if you haven't signed up online, you can sign up here at the connections table after the service. I will be there for it. If anybody has any questions on what the program is, I have the answers, so I'll be outside during coffee hour. The second announcement is the Fun, Friendship, and Frolic fundraiser that we all need you to put pen to paper and put down something that you are going to contribute for this. Again, today's the deadline. Jane will be at the table to answer questions, to have you fill out forms. This is our major form of fundraising. I believe it's December 14th when we will be purchasing these items. Some of them are dinners, some of them are activities. There will be a whole lot of things after the service for you to sign up for so that we can get funds to help sustain this marvelous community.
There actually is one more announcement that got added in a little bit later. So MVU Grief Group. Our Sunday Grief Group is an ongoing program at MVUU, led by Ann Bowling and Terry Polofsky. It meets upstairs at the loft at 12:30 each Sunday and is open to all. As Michelle shared earlier, this can be a time of year when our grief shows up, sometimes in very unexpected ways. So making a connection with others, such as in our grief group, is yet another way to feel deeply without being isolated by grief. So please join them this Sunday or any Sunday that you can. Today is Releasing the Flame.
Before we do that, can we have the people come and join us who took part in the service? Pat? Am I missing anybody else? Where did Steve go?
To Soulfully Survive the World's Mayhem by Heather Rion Starr. May whatever gatherings or activities we engage in this Sunday afternoon help restore us, our connections to one another, our sense of hope, beauty, and fun in this world, our deep knowing that we have to take care of ourselves and each other, with love and joy if we are to soulfully survive the world's mayhem. Blessed be.
And with hope and joy and love and community, may we all go forth into this world knowing that we're together.